And he scores! Tag. Wait, is that the Adon? I think so, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Yeah, man.
Well,
Gotta pray.
yeah, we do gotta pray. We gotta pray. Let's get that in.
Yes, sir.
ASAP.
I
don't know what it is, but what? I've been listening to this program, Sunnahfollowers, and I've been learning a lot, Aki. Man, a lot.
Yeah, like what? What you been learning about?
Man, I've been learning about a lot. Salah, hadith, the life of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Man.
Wow, for real though.
And you know another thing? The shows just keep come on back to back. Alhamdulillah.
I just gotta check them out.
For real though.
Yo.
Wow. My guy, if you have any questions, check this out. Every Friday, you can call in Sister Layla live. Call her with any one of your questions in regards to this deen, and man, she will answer them. She will get you right. Anyway, inshallah, I'm about to tune into that. But you know something else? If this is going to be a benefit to me, I got to get with that Sadaqah Jariyah. All right. Donate to Sunnahfollowers.net. We're here for you. Sadaqah Jariyah. Assalamu alaikum.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Oh, look at this. Hold on for a second. Wow. Put this down. There we go. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. Hold on. Make sure. Okay. Alhamdulillah. Wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. I'd like to welcome everybody to our series of entitled The Sacred Bonds of Marriage. The Sacred Bonds of Marriage. And we've covered so much information in this series. We spoke about, first of all, the conditions of a valid marriage contract. And a lot of you really learned a lot from that. At least I hope you have. That there are certain conditions that have to exist in order for your marriage contract to be valid. We also spoke about how the guardian, what the guardian of the woman should look for in a potential spouse, and also what the man should look for in a potential spouse. We've also covered the rights of the husband in the marriage. We've covered the rights of the wife in the marriage. We've covered the role of the husband in the marriage. We've covered the role of the woman in the marriage. And we also talked about monogamous marriages and polygamous marriages. And I hope that every woman listening to me understands that polygamy is a right that every Muslim man has. Okay, but that doesn't mean that you have to accept it or be a part of it. Allah speaks about how if you feel that your husband will not be just with you, then you don't have to partake in it. You just let him know, that this is not what I want. And divorce is good and clean. Okay. And we also spoke about the conditions of polygamy, how nothing in Islam resembles anything that the non-Muslims have. We don't live by the rules of the LDS community, for example. We don't live by the rules of the Mormons, the Mormon church. Our way of life, even when it comes to polygamy, has guidelines that were set forth for us by Allah, for our protection, for our betterment. And we don't imitate other people's, and we don't emulate other people's. We don't have sister wives. There's no such thing as a sister wife in Islam. When a man marries another woman, takes on a second or third or fourth wife, it's none of your business. It's none of your concern as a Muslim woman. His children with those other women, they're his and her kids. They're not yours. And we discussed how if a man takes on two or three or four wives, those are all separate households, separate families. We're not one big happy family. There is no one big happy family in Islam. If a man has four wives, he has four families that he has to take care of. We don't have meetings either. And I really want to emphasize that, because that is not an Islamic thing either. That's something that the Mormons do, the LDS. They have meetings where all the women sit down together with their rights and their roles and share their bank. We don't share bank accounts. We don't share nothing. Even your relationship with your husband is separate and different than his relationship with his other wives. So we covered polygamy from A to Z. And as I said, it's something that's not for everyone. Not everyone meets the criteria for polygamy. You have to be a certain type of man, a man who is a real man. I'm talking MAN, capital MAN. You can't be some little weakling. All right. And even for the women have to be strong, self-assured, self-confident women, because otherwise it can mess you up. It's a mind thing. All right, so we discussed marriage in those details, and today what I'm going to do is speak about some more qualities and characteristics that the husband and wife should have with each other. And let's put the PowerPoint. I forgot I'm using two different computers. Let's put the PowerPoint up here. All right, inshallah, you guys should be able. Yeah, inshallah, you can see my screen. Yes, tonight we're going to speak about upholding Islamic values within the marriage, within the home. As Muslims, we have our own identity. We have our own lifestyle. Our culture is Islam. Islam is not just a religion. It's a way of life. It's a culture. It's a lifestyle. And it is our lifestyle. It is our culture. And there are certain values that we must uphold within the home and outside the home, and collectively and individually as Muslims. And something that Allah hates, he hates so much that it will be a darkness on the day of judgment, is oppression. Islam is not about hurting or oppressing people. That's why Allah made the laws and the rules. Unlike the Mormons is a man-made religion. They make their own laws. They make their own rules. Our laws, rules, and guidelines were designed by Allah. And cowardliness and deceit are both shadows that lurk within the heart of man. Remember, we talked about how Allah tells us that the human soul, the soul is criminal by nature. The soul is attracted to those things that are dirty and bad for it. And so there are certain bad characteristics that we have as humans because of the soul, that if we don't tame them, they can stand between our heart and Allah. And deceitfulness and cowardliness are two such things. And here as Muslims, Islam teaches us, the dangers of being an oppressor, the dangers of being deceitful, being a liar. Allah hates a liar. Allah hates a two-faced person. Allah hates those type of people. And Allah tells us that in many verses of the Quran, and our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam shared it with us in many authentic hadiths. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was an example for us, and he taught us the importance of honesty, the importance of integrity, the importance of having good character and not being a deceitful, dishonest person. Listen to what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. He said, truthfulness leads to righteousness, and righteousness leads to paradise. A man will tell the truth until he becomes written. His name becomes written in the book of Allah as a truthful person. But on the other hand, falsehood leads to evil, and evil leads to the hellfire. And a man will lie until his name is written in the book of Allah as a liar. So we have to avoid being a deceitful, cowardly, dishonest person. Remember, there's a hadith whereas the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the believer is just a human being, and the believer is not perfect. The believer can fall victim to the sins just like any other human. However, there is one sin, one characteristic that the true believer doesn't have, and that's dishonesty. The believer can never be dishonest. He or she can never lie. Okay? And that is so true. I look at the people I know in my life. You know, I know some people who are born Muslim, but are they practicing? No. But one thing about them, they don't lie, a few of them. They'll admit anything. They just don't have it within them to lie. And I say, as long as that person remains upon the truth like that, at least I can just say, oh, well, he's a sinful Muslim, and I can keep making dua for this person. Okay? We should all be able to look at ourselves and ask ourselves, am I a thief? Am I a liar? Okay? Am I dishonest? Do I break my promises? Do I break my trust? If you have any of those type of characteristics, then that's a sign that you need to work on yourself, that you still need to continue to work on becoming a better believer. So, truthfulness and righteousness, honesty, this is very important for all of us to have as Muslims. And especially if you are a husband, especially if you are a wife. Remember, as the husband, you are the head of the household. Your wife has to be able to trust you. And if you are a man that's in polygamy, you have more than one wife, you really have to be a man of integrity. Okay? Also, if you are a woman, your husband, you're supposed to guard in his absence what he would have you guard. He's got to be able to trust that you will do that. And Allah admonishes people who are deceptive. Allah admonishes those of us who are not honest. Listen to what Allah says in the interpretation, the meaning. Do not mix the truth with falsehood, nor conceal the truth when you know what it is. I want all of you to look at your marriages. Are you honest with your husband? I want you brothers to look at your wives. Are you honest with your wives? Do you mix truth with falsehood? Do you hide what you know to be the truth? Of course, there's exceptions. There's instances where a person can tell a fib to save someone's life, or to bring friends together or something. But are you a dishonest husband? Are you a dishonest wife? So this verse underscores the importance of upholding the truth and avoiding being deceitful. That's why a lot of the scholars will tell you, yes, it's true. A man doesn't have to tell his wife when he marries another woman. He don't have to tell her, especially if he knows telling her is going to cause the relationship with him and her to go sour. But a lot of the scholars say that you should let her know, because honesty is always the best policy. Also, Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning, indeed, those who invent falsehood about Allah will never succeed. This is another reason why I'm telling you, all of you, to be careful using the word haram. Because whenever we say something is haram, if Allah didn't say that it was haram, then you're lying on him. You're inventing a falsehood about Allah. That's why I tell you, brothers, stop saying that makeup is haram, because makeup is not haram. There is no verse. I challenge any human being or jinn on this planet to bring the clear nas that says makeup is haram. You're not going to find it. And I can bring you a lot of clear nas from Bukhari and Muslim alone that show that the Prophet's wives even wore makeup. And they are the mothers of the believers. They're better than you. So be careful inventing lies, inventing falsehood about Allah, because maybe that's why this ummah is in the shambles that we're in. We have to stop lying on Allah so much. Okay? So this verse serves as a reminder of the grave consequences of dishonesty and falsehood, both in this life and the hereafter. Remember, whatever we do in this world is going to come back and bite us in the derriere when we in that grave. When the angel of death comes to each and every one of us and takes our soul, I'm sorry, we're going to be held accountable for the things we said and did. And again, as a Muslim man, you are the head of the household. You are the head of your family. You are the imam of your family. Every man who is married is an imam. You are the imam of your household. Allah is going to hold you accountable for your wives and your children, their character, and all of that. And as a man, you have to be the epitome example of courage and integrity, just as the Prophet was with his wives and his family and his companions. And in order to be that way, you have to learn about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and pattern yourself after him. That's why I said, even in this book, I skipped over a lot of that stuff about polygamy, because if it's not practiced the way the Prophet Muhammad practiced it, it's not going to work. I'm sorry. Can't nobody like the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the best of you are those who are best to your wives, and ain't nobody better than me in how I treat my wives. Unless you brothers are practicing polygamy the way he did, doing it the way he did, it's going to be a bunch of fitna. So you have to learn about him. He's our role model. He's our example on how to be a husband, how to be a father, how to be a stepfather, how to be a friend, how to be an imam of your home, an imam of the mosque, an imam of a whole nation of people. And you have to look at his character. He wasn't a wussy. He was not a wussy. He was not weak. He was just the way Allah commanded him to be. Allah commanded him to be gentle with the believers, but be harsh and stern with the hypocrites and unbelievers. And that's how our prophet was. Okay? He was kind, merciful, understanding, and patient with the believers. But when he knew he was dealing with an unbeliever or a hypocrite or anyone who wanted to argue the laws of Allah, he became a ferocious lion. So we have to uphold the dignity within ourselves that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam upheld, and also show that dignity towards our wives, our children, the believers, like the Prophet did, and be stern and be harsh and firm with the hypocrites. That's where we're falling today. We're letting the hypocrites walk all over us. We're letting the unbelievers make fools out of us. But we're harsh with the believers. We slander Muslim women. We slander Muslim men, but we allow the Kafir men to make jokes out of us. And again, everything that we talked about polygamy applies to the monogamy marriages as well. Okay? Again, you should live with your wife and children under the principles of love, respect, kindness, and justice, just as the man who has more than one family has to implement that. Okay? Remember, Allah hates oppression. Allah hates deceit. You have to be honest with your wife, with your children, even if it's a one family home. Okay? So, the path to having a thriving, good family, it's all based on how well are you upholding the guidelines, the laws, and the rules set forth by Allah. It's all based on who are your role models? Who are you emulating? Is the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam your example? Is he your example, or is he the comparison that you're using as to what standards a good husband, a good father, a good wife, a good mother is? Or are you allowing society to dictate to you the standards for a good husband, a good wife, a good mother? Remember, guys, as Muslims, we have our own set of scruples, morals, and our own identity. We have to stop trying to blend in and become like the non-Muslims. And instead, we need to learn our values, our true Islamic identity, and live up to that. And then we'll have a successful marriage. Then we'll raise good children. And then we'll be able to handle the trials of life with the dignity and the humility and balance that our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did. So I'm going to stop right here. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Are there any questions or comments? Any questions or comments? Yes, tomorrow is this class too, and I apologize for being late. I had to deal with some issues. Y'all know Layla got a lot going on. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, the kids' class is tomorrow. The children's class is tomorrow, inshallah, at 2. And also, we have the Slim Down with Sister Wania in the Zoom room only. That's only for my true students who I know. At 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sister Wania will be here. Bring a cheer. Put on your, where you can bend and stretch. We're going to be working out, sisters, with Sister Wania. And we're going to be using a chair, not a pole. I had to put that joke in there. For my little DNA, my DNA cousin. We're going to be working out with the chair. Oh, she says she can do a chair too. Fresno. Tiba, she typed on here that she can work out with a chair too, a pole or a chair. That's a bad joke. I bet you can. Learn a few things, huh? You got to let that Jahiliyyah go, sister. I'm telling you, you Muslim now in Miami. You know, I'm going to write about that. Maybe I'll do a story for the newspaper, the Miami Herald. Muslim in Miami. Got to give up the pole and the chair. Well, Layla got the chair. Yeah, so that's tomorrow. And by the way, guys, the Zoom room will be locked. Oh, yeah, I'm only letting people that I know in there. Ain't nobody going to be able to watch us work it. You got to be somebody that I know. If I don't know you personally, you can't work out with us. Only those who know. You know, the kids can work out, the twins, you know, Geechee and them. But the rest of you sisters, sorry, I don't know you. You can't hit the chair with us. Sister here said I'm funny. Gotta keep it real. Yeah. Mina Fresno? Or is that Fresno in here? What about Mina? You know, Fresno probably celebrating the holidays. No, she don't do no holidays. She do birthdays, but she don't do holidays. Yeah. Yeah, tomorrow's the kids. The kids are at 2, inshallah. And then also we have Sister Juania afterwards. For those of us that are going to be working out with the chair. And then we got my 6:30 class. Yeah. Yeah, my 6:30 class, the sins of disbelief.
Oh, yeah, that's a good class.
Yeah, that's tomorrow. And then I'm going to do this marriage class again tomorrow night at 9:30, inshallah.
Sister Laila, don't we have the Brother Mukhtar at 7:30?
No, remember, Mukhtar's on vacation. He's trying to get his stuff together. Where you been? We finished the life of Khalid bin Walid. Yeah, he's on vacation getting his information together for the Caliphate of Umar. Inshallah, we're going to do the Caliphate of Umar. Ready, Allahu Akbar. Yeah. You going to be working out with us with the cheer, Awa?
Of course.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. I tell y'all, that's the best exercises with the cheer. Hey! That was a bad joke. I know. You know, I don't want to hurt the feeling of my DNA cousin here that I just met off of Ancestry.com. Ancestry.com. I hope I didn't hurt your feelings, sister, did I? I made a joke. She said that it runs in the family. She makes jokes too. She says she can tell I'm her cousin because she's kooky. She says that I'm kooky. And she's kooky too. I ain't kooky like you though. Oh no, you kooky. Yeah. Okay, so inshallah, guys, tomorrow at 2 o'clock is the kids, and then at 4, inshallah, Zoom room will be locked for
1 o'clock for me.
For your private. Hey, Sabrina, I'll be your private dancer. Remember that? Y'all remember that? Latifah.
Yeah.
I'll be your private dancer. We're going to do some private dancing.
That's
Yeah.
going to be fun.
Yeah, but I'm going to lock the door. Yeah, nobody won't be able to come in. I'll lock it. So it's just be us. Yeah. No, yeah. Y'all just make sure, yeah. We all single. We ain't got no husbands, so you ain't got to worry about no man. Look, hey Fresno, you ain't gonna be able to be in there because I don't know if your son's gonna be watching. Fresno, you hear me?
He told me to tell you about your fingers already.
Your son, well, you can't be in there because your son gonna be watching us do the private dancing. Ooh, yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna close out, guys. Inshallah, I'll see you guys tomorrow here. The rest of us in Zoom, we got to get this together now. I already know. Sabrina, you do have a chair, right? Yeah, because that's what we're gonna use, a chair. Yeah. And the pole. Hey, Fresno, did you hear what my DNA typed? She typed here. She said, "Oh, I can work a chair too."
Oh no!
She said, "I can work a chair and a pole."
Oh wow!
All right, guys, we get ready to log out. We getting silly here. All right, Subhanakala Bihamdika Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.